Okay, so as we have mentioned previously, so an intensive Vipassana meditation retreat consists of three parts. Right? So sitting meditation, walking meditation, and also the meditation on the daily activities, all the daily activities that takes place in between sitting meditation and walking meditation. Okay? So far we have already covered the instruction for sitting meditation. Okay? And in the last talk on Friday, we also touched a little bit on the walking meditation. Okay? So we discussed why it is walking meditation is such an important part in the intensive meditation retreat. Okay? So first of all, you cannot sit for a whole day. Right? So even if you want to, your body will not allow it. So eventually you start to feel stiff and pain here, pain there, unless you have very good samadhi. So, but most people, most yogis, when they start off their practice, samadhi is not there yet. So you cannot sit the whole day through. Okay? So eventually you have to get up to do walking meditation in order to relieve the stiffness, the tension that has built up in the body while you are sitting. So since you have to get up, in order not to break the continuity of the mindful noting, okay? So in order for anupassana to continue on, so you need to continue to meditate while you are walking. So you do the walking meditation. So, and doing sitting meditation for too long also tend to cause imbalance in the noting mind. Okay? So because as we mentioned, so the sitting posture is a very still posture. Okay? So when you do sitting meditation, you tend to sink into concentration easily. So the sitting posture tend to induce a lot of concentration. So if you sit for too long, you may end up with too much concentration. Okay? So on the other hand, walking meditation, in doing walking meditation, it requires the extra effort to walk and also to exert the mind in order to note an active moving object. Okay? So this helps to bring more energy into the noting mind, which helps to balance off the concentration that is developed through sitting meditation. And when the noting mind is kept well balanced, then the meditation can be more lasting and more progressive. Okay? We also discuss about the benefits of walking meditation, okay? In accordance with the Cankama Sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya, Panchaka Nipata Pali, the book of the fives. So there the Buddha listed the 5 benefits of doing walking meditation. Okay? So firstly, you have endurance when you are going on a journey. You are able to travel far without feeling tired. Okay? Secondly is you have endurance when you're striving in a meditation practice. Okay? So you don't give up so easily. You are able to sustain your practice for a long duration of time. Okay? Yeah, so when the yogis do walking meditation together with sitting meditation, that's why you can last for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year in a meditation retreat. Okay? So you just do sitting meditation alone, unless you develop samadhi quickly. Otherwise, you will not last very long. Okay. Also, walking meditation brings about good health. So you have good health with little sickness. Okay? And also the food that you have eaten is well digested. Okay? And lastly, the concentration that is developed through walking meditation, it can last very long. Okay? So now we come to the instruction, how to do walking meditation. Okay? So after 1 hour of sitting, okay, so in a retreat, after 1 hour of sitting according to the schedule, so the yogi wants to get up to do walking meditation. Okay, so when the 1 hour is up, or when your sitting session is up, okay, so don't just simply jump up from your seat happily and run to your walking path and then begin your walking meditation. So as soon as your sitting meditation session comes to an end, it doesn't mean that your meditation comes to an end. Okay, so so the meditation continues on. So noting continues on. Anupassana. As we said, you are supposed to meditate in a meditation retreat. You are supposed to meditate continuously from the time you wake up right until the time you fall asleep at night. Okay. So as soon as the sitting meditation session ends, then all the activities beginning from that time, all the mental as well as physical activities beginning from that point until you walk and reach the walking path. All these activities must be noted. Okay? So all these activities comes under meditation of daily activities. Okay? So what do you do? So when you hear, usually in a retreat center, the clock will chime to mark 1 hour is up. So when you hear the clock chime, so you're supposed to note. Hearing. So turn your attention to the experience of hearing. Now you can turn your experience. Note. Hearing. Be clearly aware of the experience of hearing. So, and if the mind feel happy, relief, finally it's over. Especially after a very tough sitting session where you have to note a lot of pain. So when the bell chime, you forgot to note that the chiming. Very happy. So this state of happiness, the relief state of mind also must be noted. Okay, happy, not happy, happy, happy. Be clearly aware of the state of happiness. If you feel relief, be clearly aware of mental state of relief, not relief, relief, relief. Be clearly aware of the nature of that state of mind. Then when you decide, you make a decision to stop the sitting meditation. So that state of mind also you must note. You make the decision, not deciding. Be clearly aware of the state of mind, that state of decision. You can observe clearly its nature. When the mind makes a decision, you can feel the nature. The mind is firm. It is decisive. There's this firmness in the mind. So when you note here, you can see this nature of the mind. But sometimes the bell chime and then the mind wavers, especially when the sitting is going on very well. The mind wavers. Should I stop meditation? Should I go on the sitting meditation? So the mind wavers, and you must not wavering. So you see, look clearly this nature of the wavering mind, and the mind is not firm; it is unsteady. So it cannot decide. Then, when finally you make up the mind, okay, I shall continue with the sitting meditation, or I shall stop the sitting meditation. So it makes a decision. Then you see the change in the mind. The state of wavering disappear. And then the decisive mind appear. And you can see from a very unsteady mind, suddenly the mind becomes very firm and decisive. You see the change in the nature. One nature disappear, another nature appear. Only if you observe carefully, if you're noting is continuous, you don't give up the noting after the bell chime. You continue noting continuously, then only you can see all these different states of mind that arises. So all this comes under daily activities, meditation on daily activities. So although we often say that daily activities means meditation on all physical activities that occur in between sitting and walking, but no doubt physical activities, the major activities that takes place, but all these mental states also, all these mental activities also should be noted. So physical action as well as mental actions must be noted as part of daily activities, meditation on daily activities. Okay, so now you make a firm decision to stop the sitting meditation. So what do you do next? What do you do next? This is a trick question. See how mindful you are. What do you do next?
Intending.
Say again.
Intending.
Intention to do what?
To leave your bottom.
To leave.
You want to go up. Intention.
Are you sure? That's the first thing you do. Trick question, remember. You don't have to open your eyes first. You see, so if you're really mindful, even before you want to get up, first you have to open your eyes, right? So you're very mindful, then you can catch the intention to open the eyes. So, so that also intention must be noted. So intending. So when the intention arises, you want to open the eyes. So you notice there is if you note properly, you note there is this urge in the mind, urging the mind to open the eyes. So you can feel it like something like a tiny undercurrent wave in the mind that moves the mind in a certain way, moves the mind to open the eyes. So it's like a very tiny undercurrent in the mind. You have to observe carefully, then only you feel this undercurrent. And then you feel there's this tiny urge in the mind. Open the eyes. That is the intention. Okay, so you note intention. No, you not only if you see it, right? So often yogis fail to catch the intention. So you don't notice the intention because your mind needs to be very clear in order to catch the intention. So, so to be clear, your mind needs to be very calm and relaxed. Then only when the undercurrent, the intention, the undercurrent, the wave comes in the mind, then only you can feel the wave. It moves the mind, it moves the heart to open the eyes. So when you feel that, then you note that as intention. You don't feel it. You don't simply say intention when there's no intention. You note what is there. So you don't note what is not there. Also don't create what is not there. Okay. So you catch intention. That's why you have to be very mindful to feel clearly. There's a very subtle urge in the mind that arises. You feel it like a wave coming. It moves the heart. It moves the heart, sort of telling it, open the eyes. And when you feel it, then you know that intention. Okay. So when the intention arises, then starts to open. The eyelids starts to open. So you're not opening. So you have to open it slowly, not like what you normally do immediately open. Okay, all the physical activities throughout the meditation on daily activities must be carried out slowly. Okay, so even when you open your eyes, also you must open slowly. Yeah. So when you open slowly, then you observe the experience of opening. So where do you direct your attention? You direct attention to the eyes. Okay, so place your attention there. So when the eye starts to open, then you can feel the sensation that is present as the eyelids slowly open. You observe carefully. You can feel some kind of physical force. Sometimes you feel it as if the eyelids is being pried open. And once it open, then you can feel there's the sensation of so a force that's pulling it open. You open slowly, you can feel it pulling. So you know there's opening. But when you feel the sensation, you can feel as if there's something pulling it open. So you're not opening. And as the eyes open, you observe carefully also. You can feel the eyes itself becoming firm. So you can feel the eyes as you start to open the eyes slowly, as firmness arises in the eyes. When the eyes is totally shut, it's very relaxed. When you open it, once you open it, it starts to become firm. You can try. Close your eyes. Place your attention on the eyes. You can feel eyes is relaxed. Now you want to open the eyes. So you feel the intention, not the intention. Then slowly open. As you open, you notice as eyes becoming firm. When you close it again, it relaxes again. When you open, it becomes firm again. So you observe carefully, you can pick up all this sensation. So when you open also, you can feel that there's a force that pulls the eyelid open. You open slowly, then only you can feel. Open slowly, and then observe carefully. Put your whole attention on the process of opening. So you can feel the eyelids, something pulling it open. That is actually the wind element. The firmness, the firm sensation that you feel in the eyeballs also, that is also the wind element. Okay? So only if you observe carefully, you slow down and you observe carefully, then only you can observe this physical process that happen moment to moment as you open the eyes. Okay? So even this very simple act of opening the eyes, if you observe carefully, you can learn a lot of things about the nature of Nama Rupa. You can see, you can discern clearly because the intention, then the physical movement occur. The wind element arises. You can feel the wind element pulling it open. You can feel the firmness. So if there were no intent, all this will not happen. Yeah. So some yogis say, why going on all this thing? So boring. Open eyes means open eyes. Why? Want to slow down? Why want to observe? You observe because when you observe carefully, you can come to know the nature of the mental, physical phenomena that is unfolding in the act of opening the eyes. Okay? Yeah. So Vipassana is not just rising, falling. Everything can be noted. Any physical, mental activities can be noted. And you can come to know the nature of Nama Rupa. Okay? So then now your eyes is open. What happened? The moment the eyes is open, what happened next? Trick question again.
Intention to get up.
Intention to get up.
No.
You sure?
Contact. Seeing is happening.
Finally, somebody is mindful. So the moment the eyes open, seeing takes place. The experience of seeing arises. So you're not seeing. So you're not be aware the experience of seeing occur. The moment the eyes open, seeing occur. Okay? When the eyes is shut, there's no seeing. You can do this exercise now. You shut your eyes, and then you open the eyes. You open. As soon as you open, the experience, notice the experience of seeing begin. It starts to occur. And you close your eyes again. Experience of seeing disappear. You open again, there, seeing again. So you observe carefully. So that's why the mindfulness needs to be very sensitive to pick up all these minute activities. So we are training our attention to be alert to every single minute activities that occur. So then seeing, so you're not seeing. Be clearly aware that there is the experience of seeing taking place. Then after that, what happened? Now afraid to answer already.
Check your mental reaction.
Reaction to what?
Seeing.
Yeah, sometimes there can be reaction also. Then also should be noted. Okay. Then finally, okay, you're ready to get up, right? So the intention arises. You want to get up. So again, you notice the intention. Again, it arises. This intention arises as an urge in the mind, prodding the mind. It's like a wave. Like a wave, like a wave flowing over the mind, moving over the mind, urging it, moving the mind. Get up. So you note that as intention. You don't have to note intention to get up, intention to get up. Very long. The label should be very simple. Just intention will do. You know what the intention is about. So no need to say intention together. There's no intention. Okay. So then what happened? So it's slowly you begin to shift the body together. So you have to do it slowly. Okay. So don't do it abruptly. Yogis should not move abruptly. Everything should be done slowly, gracefully. This is the sila of the yogi, the way of conduct of a yogi. Your movement should be slow and graceful. Something like when they practice Tai Chi, slow, graceful movement. Okay. So once the intention arises, you get up, the body starts to move. So depending on the person, some move forward, some tilt to the side. Some maybe even lean to the back. Different people have different method of getting up. So let's say you move forward, so as the body starts to move forward. So you can note intention, and then the body starts to move forward. Okay? So you can feel, bring your attention to the body. And so as it push forward, you can feel the body moving forward. You can, your mind is clear, you can feel the quality, maybe some pushing, some fast pushing the body forward, pushing it forward. But only if you slow down, then you can observe this clearly. So you slow down, move slowly, then you bring your attention to the body as it slowly moves forward. Okay. So if you're very clear, you can note clearly the whole process as the body moves forward. So It pushes forward, and then another pushing, then another pushing, then another, and another, and another. So you observe carefully. You follow, observe carefully. If you are the mind is very, very clear, you can even notice there's intention, and then the body move forward, and then the body haven't reached yet, right? So then you can notice, if you're really very careful in your noting, another intention arise, then it pushes further, then another intention arise, then it pushes further. So you can notice as a series of intention arises one after another, and then there's a series of movement following each intention, one after another. So only if you slow down, observe carefully, you can observe this process of nama rupa that's occurring, the intention and the movement, the intention, the movement, intention, movement, continuously. So that's why we slow down. Yeah, we instruct the yogi to slow down, not to torture the yogi. So that you can train your attention to observe, to discern clearly. So otherwise, you can meditate 100 years or so, moving very fast. You won't discern anything clearly. So, so once the body has moved forward enough, then intention to stretch the arms forward, stretch the arm. So you note intention again, the movement in the mind, like the wave, the undercurrent, sweeping over the mind, moving it, urging it to stretch forward. So then the arms start to stretch forward. Again, you observe carefully the arm stretching, 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 stretching. Again, you slow down, you observe the mental, physical process that's going on. Okay? So depending on how clear your noting is, sometimes you may only observe one continuous stretching. You're very clear still, you can observe one stretching, another stretching, another stretching, a series of stretching. Okay? Clearer still, you can observe the intention behind every movement of stretching. Okay? So not whatever you can observe. Okay? So don't try to create the experience that is not there. Okay? So just move naturally. So in daily activities, it must not be too stiff. Like robot move like that. So move naturally. And as the intention occur, as the movement occur, observe carefully. Okay? Move naturally but slowly. When I say naturally, it doesn't mean you move in your usual face. So what I mean is not so stiff and rigid like a robot. So you move forward and then the arms stretch forward. So very smooth movement. Okay? But you observe carefully. What is important is the noting mind going on, observing continuously. Okay? And then when the hand touches the floor, so you note touching, not the touch experience. Okay? So you can feel the hardness or the softness, the coolness, and then you want to push, then you may observe the intention to push. Then you note intention, and then it starts to push. Then you start to feel the pressure. So you note pushing. So as you note pushing, you're aware of all this sensation that's going on. Okay. Then as you start to lift the body up, so you go slowly. So lifting, lifting, lifting. So be aware of every single minute movement that occur as you slowly lift the body up. So you can feel intent. You can observe the intention, and then as the body move up, you feel the sensation in the body, the pressure, the pulling up slowly, bit by bit, the heaviness, whatever sensation that you can observe, that you happen to observe, be clearly aware of it. Be aware of it as a process, right? It is a process. Your body is in the process of getting up. So you be aware of it continuously. So as all the sensation or the intention unfold moment to moment, you just hold your awareness there and observe this process continuously, moment by moment by moment, until the entire body come to the standing posture. So once you're standing up, then what do? Then you note the standing posture. Standing, standing, standing. So this is one of the posture, one of the 4 posture that you can note in your practice. So you note standing, standing, standing. Okay. So when you're not sitting, what do you note? You note the body in the upright position as it is sitting. You feel the sensation of the uprightness, the force that is holding the body upright, the physical force holding the body upright. So when you're not standing also, you bring your attention to the body in the upright position as you are standing. Again, you feel there's the force holding the body in the upright position. Okay? Again, that is the wind element. Okay? So you can feel the body in upright, something holding it up. Okay? Without this, the body will just fall down. So you can also note the heaviness of the body. You can note the pressure on the 2 feet as the heaviness weigh down. So you can note the hardness, so and so on. Whatever sensation you happen to notice, just be aware of it. Okay, so you're not continuously standing. Place your attention inside the body. Feel whatever sensation is prominent. Observe it continuously. So that's standing. Okay. Okay. Then you begin to walk to your walking path. Right. So first, the intention arise, the urge arise in the mind. Very tiny urge, sweep over the mind. So you feel it, and then you know intention to walk. So in daily activities also, you tend to do a lot of walking from one place to another. So as you walk from one place to another, you also note, like you do in walking meditation, but you only note do the one face noting for daily activities. Right step, left step, right step, left step. Okay, so you note intention, and then the foot starts to move. So as the foot starts to move, so you bring your attention to the foot. Okay, so be aware of the foot as it steps. Okay, so feel the foot, all the sensation that unfolds as you take a step. Okay, so you're not stepping, or you're not right step, left step, right step, left step. Feel the sensation carefully. Okay? So when you walk, walk slowly. So, so a yogi is supposed to walk slowly, like a sick person. Okay? So even though you are healthy, strong, able body, but you have to act as if you are a sick person. Sick person, bolat, no energy. So I have to walk slowly, one step, another step, another step. So as you take slow steps like this, you observe right step, left step, right step, left step. So place your attention on each foot as it is stepping. Okay? Feel it carefully. Okay? If you notice the intention also, you may note intention to step, stepping. The intention, stepping, intention, stepping, intention, stepping. So depending on how clear your mind is. Okay. So the longer you practice, the clearer your mind is supposed to be. The clearer your mind is, the more you are able to observe. So your mind is very clear, that intention always occur. You always notice intention before any movement. Okay? Okay, so in this way, so you walk to your walking path. Right step, left step, right step, left step. Or you simply not stepping. So, okay. Now you reach the walking path. Right? So then you want to stop, you note intention to stop. When you want to stop, so if you notice the intention to stop, then you note the intention to stop. Okay, and then as the body comes to a standstill, you note stopping, and then you stand there. Then you note standing, in the way that we described just now. Okay, note the standing posture. Okay. Now the walking path. So you must choose a walking path. The walking path ideally should be about 20 steps. Okay, 20 steps, 20 small steps. So not too big steps, not 20 strides, 20 steps, small steps. Chame Sayadaw always say when you do walking meditation, put one foot just in front of the other. So small steps. Okay, so more or less 20 steps. You cannot find exactly 20 steps. More or less is okay. Okay. So 19, 18 also can. So as long as it's not too short or not too long. Okay. So 20 is quite nice. Just nice. So the path also ideally should not have any distraction. So don't have your water bottle or whatever on the path, along the path. Ideally, should not have anything that can distract the mind. So at the end of the path also ideally should be just an empty wall. There's nothing to look. Last time in MBMC, they used to have on the second floor where the male yogis do their walking meditation. They used to have all these pictures depicting hell. Yogi walk to the end. It's very nice painting. seeing. So ideally, it can be a distraction. So ideally, it should just be empty wall. So So to the left, to the right also should have nothing. To the front also, ideally, should have nothing to distract the attention. However, often, especially in a retreat center, when you meditate with other people, other yogis around, it is not possible to totally blank path. Okay? Yogis could be walking just beside you. So, so in this case, then you have to accept it. So you act as if you are blind. So this is another instruction for yogis. Even though you have eyes, you should behave as if you are blind. You don't see anything. So even though there are other yogis around you, you act as if you don't see them. So make as if they are not there. Okay, so you have to accept the situation. So some yogis they are too sensitive or too self-conscious. Other people around me, they will see me, they will judge me, they will judge how I'm walking. So you have to let go of all this self. It's a kind of conceit actually. So yeah, comparing self with others. They may think my walking not as good as them, something like that. So must be note and let go. Behave like you are blind. There's nobody at all around you. Then you walk. Okay. So now you have reached your walking path, a suitable walking path. Okay. So for walking meditation, so usually you walk for 1 hour. You sit for 1 hour. You walk for 1 hour. Okay. So for that 1 hour of walking, so this instruction is more for the beginners. So the 1 hour of walking, you divide it into 3 parts. Okay, about 20 minutes each. Okay, so roughly about 20 minutes. You don't have to be so exact. You want to be so exact, you have to keep looking at the clock. Time already or not? Time already or not? So roughly feel in your mind about 20 minutes. Okay. So so the first 20 minutes, so you do the what we call the one face noting. So just like what we mentioned just now, you just note right step, left step, right step, left step. Okay, so for the first 20 minutes, you just do that. Note the steps in one face. Okay, so just stepping, or right step, left step. Okay, so now if you have just got up from your sitting meditation after 1 hour of sitting meditation, so the body may be a bit stiff. Okay, so when you begin your walking meditation, then you can walk a little bit more casually. Okay, so don't casual but not too fast. Slower than how the speed that you normally walk outside of retreat, but a bit casually, not too slow. So is to relieve the stiffness in the body, to loosen up the body a bit. Okay. So when you walk, your arms, you can hold them together in front or at the back. You can fold them in front of you. I've seen yogis even folding it behind their back. So you may even put it at the side. I have no problem with that if you put by the side. But if you put by the side, don't swing it. Okay? So hold it still at the side. Idea is not to distract. Because if your arm is swinging, so then it distracts from the observation of the walking process. Okay, you can hold it at the side without swinging it. Okay, so some yogis prefer holding it at the side, because when you fold it in front or at the back, sometimes after a while, the circulation, you don't feel so good. So we hold it by the side, it circulates better. Okay, so yeah, so you walk a little bit casually at first, but still making effort to feel the steps, each step that you take carefully. Okay? Feel the sensation, the swinging sensation, the pushing, the putting down. You can feel the coldness or the hardness, the pulling up of the foot, and so on. Whatever sensation you happen to observe. Okay, so but you have to make effort to observe carefully. Okay. So as you keep making effort to observe each step, so you find that naturally you begin to slow down the walking more and more, because you want to observe more clearly. So naturally, as you make effort to observe more clearly, naturally you will slow down the pace of the walking, the speed of the walking. Okay? So gradually you begin to slow down more and more and more. Okay, so after about 20 minutes, you would have slowed down considerably. You'll be moving very slow already. Okay? Feeling the steps very, very carefully. Okay, so as you slow down, you may begin to notice that the steps is not just one step like this. You may begin to feel that the foot actually lifts up first, and then it puts down. It lifts up, and then it puts down. Okay. So for experienced yogi, it doesn't take 20 minutes for you to begin to realize this. As you begin to slow down more and more, as your mind begin to settle into the rhythm of the walking, as the mind begins to go nearer and nearer to the process of walking, so you begin to notice that the steps is not just one step. It's lifting and then it places, lifting and then it places down. Okay, so for experienced yogi, as soon as you begin to see this clearly, you don't have to wait until 20 minutes. Even less than 20 minutes, you can begin to see this clearly. So as soon as you begin to see this clearly, then you can start to note in two phases. You note as lifting, placing, lifting, placing. Okay, that's for experienced yogi. So, but for beginner yogis, you are not used to this yet, so you may not notice. You'll still be following stepping. Okay, so for the beginners yogis, after about 20 minutes, you'll be moving very slow already. You'll be walking very slow, and then for the next 20 minutes, then you break the one step into two phases. Okay, and you note it in two phases: the lifting phase, and then the placing phase. So lifting, placing, lifting, placing. Lifting means you lift the foot up. Placing means you place it down onto the floor. Okay, so in the two-phase noting, you are moving very, very slowly already. Okay, so then you have to put in more effort to observe very, very carefully. Okay, observe the process as the food leaps out, as it places down. Okay, so you have to observe, make effort to feel carefully the sensation that is present. Okay, so as you lift up, you can feel maybe the foot pressing down, and you may feel the hardness or the pressure. Then as the foot lifts up, you may feel the pulling sensation, the foot being pulled up, the sensation of being pulled up. You may feel the sensation of lightness. So whatever you happen to feel, observe at that time. So some may feel heaviness. Some yogis feel lightness. So whatever you happen to observe, that's why you have to observe very carefully. So you have to place your attention there and observe carefully the entire process of lifting up from beginning to the end. So you put your attention there, and as it lifts up, you not lifting, 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 lifting. So as you note, your whole attention is on the foot. Okay, so it's on the foot. When you do walking meditation, your whole attention must be on the foot. Okay, it's like your mind is enveloping the entire foot. Okay, so your attention is there, focus on the foot, and a little bit above the ankle, just a little bit. So your whole attention is there. Okay, so don't let your attention be extend to cover the entire leg, just on the foot. Okay. So as it leaves, so you feel the sensation. Then as it places down, also again you feel placing all the time. As you note, the whole attention is on the foot, feeling all the sensation that is present as the foot places down. Okay, so you must pay very careful attention to feel carefully the entire process as the foot lifts up, as it places down. Okay. So as it places down, you can feel sometimes the lightness. As it touches, you may feel the cold sensation or the hot sensation. As it presses down, you may feel the pressure, and so on. So you have to observe carefully. Okay, all the sensation that is present. Now, when we say sensation in a walking meditation, okay, so it's more of the sensation that is inside the foot. Okay, not on the surface. So walking meditation is actually more of the wind element that is pulling the foot up, is pushing it forward, that is placing it down. Okay? It's more the wind element. And this wind element is inside. Okay? Not those sensation of coolness on the surface. So this is not part of the walking. Okay, so walking is the process of the foot lifting up. And so there is the wind element that is lifting it up. You see, that pushes it forward, that places it down. And so you pay attention, you can feel the nature of this element. There's the pressure, the tightness, the pulling, the pushing, and so on. Okay, the movement. So this is what we mean, walking meditation. Not just the coolness on the soul, the tingling sensation. It's actually more like the secondary object, actually. Walking means the walking process. The elements, the physical nature that unfolds as the foot lifts up, as it pushes forward, as it places down. Okay. So even the touching also actually is touching. So when you place it down, you feel the touching, and that's the experience of touching. Okay, but when you press it down, you feel the pressure, or the compression. That is the wind element. Okay, so so it's the process of the wind element as you take a step. And that is the walking meditation. You're meditating on that. Okay. Yeah, what do you do when you reach the end of the path? So when you reach the end of the path, you want to stop, right? So so you notice the intention to stop. So you note intention as the body stops, not stopping. Okay, as you stand there, you note standing. Okay, then when you want to turn. Then you notice the intention to turn, so you note it, intention. As the body turns, you turn slowly, okay, bit by bit. And as you turn, you feel the body, the sensation in the body as it turns bit by bit. Okay, you feel the 2 feet making small steps as it turns. Okay, so observe carefully, move slowly. Then when you're facing the path again, you stop. Then you're standing there again. You're not standing. Then you begin the whole process of walking again. Intention to walk, and then you walk. Okay? So as you are walking, also you notice the intention. Also, you must note the intention. Intention to leave. Then intention. As it leave, you know, lifting. Intention to push, intention to place, also all this intention should be noted. So if your mind is very clear, you may even notice the series of intention as it leaves. So as it pushes, as it places. Okay, so the 2-phase noting, you know, in 2-phase, lifting, placing. Okay. So because you are going about so slowly, the samadhi will develop. As the mind becomes clearer and clearer. And it becomes clearer, then you begin to notice not just lifting and placing. It's lifting, and then it moves a little bit forward before it places. So for experienced yogis, once you notice this, and you begin to note that moving forward. Okay, so at some point, as you note lifting, placing, when your mind starts to see clearly that that is before it places down, it moves forward a little bit. So as soon as you notice this, you begin to note that. Okay, so lifting, pushing forward, placing, lifting, pushing forward, placing. Okay. So for experienced yogi, so you don't have to wait for another 20 minutes. As soon as you notice there is another phase in the walking process, then you can begin to notice that. Take note of that. Okay. But for the beginner yogis, so after another 20 minutes of noting, lifting, placing, so the last 20 minutes, so you break it down further. Lifting, pushing forward, placing, lifting, pushing forward, placing. So you're not in the same way, with that same kind of careful attention, with the entire mind, 100% on the foot, as it lifts out slowly, as it moves forward slowly, as it places down slowly. So you follow and you take note of whatever sensation present as it unfolds moment by moment. Okay, so you're noting the process as it unfolds moment by moment, the lifting, pushing, placing. So you go slowly, you observe carefully entire process from beginning to the very end. Okay, so you must do this slowly. Yeah, you do it fast, you cannot see anything. Okay, you must slow down. Okay, and naturally also, as you make more and more effort to feel more and more carefully, naturally also you will slow down more and more. Okay. Sometimes some yogis they take half an hour to walk from here to the end of the walking path. Very slow. But yes, very mindful, very focused. So you slow down the walking and then you take small steps, especially when you're noting the steps in 2 phase and 3 phase. Now you take small steps. Okay, so as we said just now, one foot placed down just in front of the other. Okay, so don't take too big a step. If the stride is too big, it tends to distract the attention. You take small steps, then the mind can focus on the process of walking. Okay, so and as we mentioned just now, the entire attention must be focused just on the foot. Okay, and it must be focused just on the foot that is stepping. Okay, the foot that is moving, not on the foot that is stationary. Okay, there tend to be sensation coming from the foot that is stationary because you are actually balancing your whole body on that one foot. So there tend to be sensation from that foot. So you have to ignore it. Okay, your whole attention must be anchored on the foot that is stepping. Okay, so for the entire duration of that step, let's say you're taking the right step. So for the entire duration of the right step, your whole focus must be just on the right foot from beginning to the end. Okay, and then you must finish one step first. Put down the foot completely on the floor. Let it settle completely on the floor first. Okay? Before you turn your attention to the other foot to begin the next step. Okay, so don't the old habit when we walk. The moment it touches the floor, you want to start to take the next step already. Okay, so for walking meditation, this is not helpful. Okay, so you must finish the entire step. So the whole foot must be completely placed firmly on the floor. Then only, so you must note continuously until the whole foot is completely settled, placed firmly on the floor. Then only you think of taking the other step. Then your attention turn to the other foot, and then you begin the walking process of the other foot. Okay, so one step at a time. And as you're walking also, your eyes must be cast down about 2 meters in front of you. Okay, don't look left, don't look right, don't look to the front. Okay, if the intention arises, you want to see, note the intention, but don't act on it. Okay, very strong desire arise. You can feel a very strong desire. The wave is stronger. So usually intention is just a very small undercurrent wave. Okay? If the intention is very strong, you can feel maybe like a tsunami. So it come and sweep you, then the heart move more violently. Then you really want to look, but you must not desire, and don't act on it. Not until the desire disappear, and continue walking. Okay. So even though you have eyes to see, you must act as if you are blind. And so, as for secondary object during the walking meditation, so as much as possible, you ignore these other objects, especially for walking meditation, because there tend to be a lot of distraction, because your eyes is open. So something, one mosquito shoot by also, what is that? So you must guard against that. So you must totally ignore. Otherwise, the sound also want to see. So smell something also. What is that flower? So start thinking. So you must, as much as possible, ignore all this object and place your attention squarely on the foot. So sight, sound, sensation in the body, as much as possible, you ignore. Okay. So, however, if the sensation becomes too strong, like some yogis, especially the old ones, after walking for some time, pain in the leg. If it is not really that painful, you can still ignore. Okay, but however, if it becomes too strong, and then you note. Okay? Note until it disappears. Okay, so you stop your walking, stand there, and then you note. Okay, note until it disappears, and then you resume the walking meditation. Thinking also. So thinking you should note. So you must be aware. Thinking, not thinking. Okay, and you must note very firmly. In the way that we mentioned last time, you put all your effort into the noting of thinking, so that if you note in this way, the thinking, as soon as you note, it will disappear. Then you don't have to stop your walking. So thinking arises, you quickly note with wholehearted attention, with full effort, you note, it disappears immediately. And then immediately your attention go back to the walking process. Okay? So you don't have to stop the walking meditation. Okay? However, if you are not skillful in the noting or thinking yet, you're not thinking, not wholeheartedly, not with full effort, it still persists on. So you cannot stop. And then in that case, you have to stop your walking and then turn your attention, not thinking, not until it disappears. Then after that, resume your walking meditation. If the thinking doesn't stop, after noting for some time, 7, 8 noting, thinking, it doesn't stop, then you have to gently but firmly detach your attention away from the thought. Don't continue to feed the thought. Detach from it. Turn your attention away from the thinking. Go back to your walking meditation. But do it gently. Don't cut it off violently. Gently detach your attention away. Gently direct the attention back to the walking meditation. Gently but firmly. Okay. So this is how you do your walking meditation. So you walk for 1 hour in this way. Okay. So we stop here today. Okay. There's questions in the chat room as usual. Okay. So first question, during noting of pain, I noticed that the noting of pain can occur automatically. Pain, pain, pain. And also it can occur willfully or intentionally. Pain, pain, pain. Yeah? So are these two ways of noting pain? Appreciate your comments. Yeah, so sometimes when you train your noting mind so that it occur continuously on the prominent object. Okay, so as soon as the pain becomes prominent, it pulls your attention away. Then, because the noting has got momentum, so automatically it will go and not the pain by itself. Okay? So in this case, then it occur automatically. So the mind by itself go and not pain, 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 pain. Okay? So that is when the noting has got momentum already. Okay? So when you do Dhammanupassana, usually this is what happens. The mind will know how to go to the prominent object automatically. Okay? So, but sometimes when it's not, the momentum is not there yet, pain arises, then you have to intentionally bring your attention to the pain, and then you have to note it with intention. And also sometimes when, let's say, there's two objects which is equally prominent, then you can willfully, with intention, direct it just to one. So, okay, next question. Okay, so he asks, Ante, could you please clarify again the main purpose of walking meditation? That is to note the wind element of the body. In my crude practice, the tactile sensation on my soul touching the surface of the floor is very prominent instead. Yeah, so as we mentioned just now, so it's the walking process. Okay? So as you walk, you have intention to live. So that is the force, the physical force that lifts the foot up, right? So and then as you intention to move forward, then there is a physical force that pushes it forward. Okay? And then as you places it down, there's another physical force that places it down. So you are supposed to note this physical force, which essentially is the wind element. Okay? So in theory, we say it's wind element. In practice, you feel it as all these forces that pulls it out, that pushes it forward, that places it down, that presses it down. So that is the walking meditation. But of course, as you are doing the walking meditation, also when the foot is touching on the ground, so you also feel the tactile sensation, the contact of the sole of the foot with the floor, the hardness, the coolness, sometimes the warmness, sometimes the roughness, sometimes the smoothness. So usually for beginners, and that's what they report for walking meditation in the interview. So lifting, they say, oh, I feel the hardness of the floor. Pushing, I feel the coolness on the skin. Touching, again, I feel the coolness on the floor, the hardness on the floor. But that is not the walking process. Okay, so you must observe carefully. So in the beginning, it may take some getting used to, because often this sensation, they are can be very subtle. But if you train your attention to feel it again and again, put your attention on the foot. Let the whole mind, like as if, sink into the foot, entire foot. And then as it lifts up, you feel it. Use your mind to feel as the foot is lifting up, as it's pushing forward, as it places down. Gradually, as you do this exercise again and again, this sensation will become clearer and clearer and clearer. Okay. And the next question, Bhante, after walk for alternate hours, body or shoulder becomes stiffer and ache and tension. Sometimes tired, more wandering mind. Please advise. So you have to be more mindful. You're really following the noting of the steps. Follow it carefully. Put effort into it, noting it moment by moment by moment by moment. The mind will become more and more energetic. So the stiffness in the body, it can happen also, because even though your 2 feet are active, moving, the 2 legs also are actually moving, but your upper body is actually still. So after a while, you can feel stiff. So that's why I say sometimes I allow the yogi just to hang their 2 arms at the side. So in this way, it won't be so stiff. If you fold it like this, especially if you fold so tightly, after a while, the blood cannot circulate very well. Then you start to feel stiffness, aching, tension. So hold it. You can hold it by the side, or instead of folding, you hold the 2 hands and put it in front. That also the circulation can move better instead of folding it. Okay. So if you feel the stiffness and aching, if it is very mild, often it's just very mild sensation, you can ignore it and continue with your walking, noting the walking. Okay. So of course, if it is very prominent, it starts to distract your attention from the walking process, then you may note it, stop and note it. Okay. Or you can stop and then mindfully shift the position of your arms to relieve the tension or the stiffness a bit. Do it mindfully. Okay, slowly and mindfully. Okay, and then after you're relieved, and then return to noting the walking process. Okay, for wandering mind, you just have to be more mindful. So you have to fill in the gaps when you're noting. If your noting has a lot of holes, means noting is not continuous, then there tend to be a lot of wandering mind. So you have to note continuously. One moment of noting, follow immediately by another noting, follow immediately by another noting, without any gaps. Then the wandering mind have no opportunity. So otherwise, if there is even a little gap in between the noting, so these defilements, this mara, kilesa mara, they are very skillful. They have been training since the beginning of samsara, which is beginningless. So they are very skillful. The moment they find an opportunity, there's a gap in your noting, they find an opportunity, immediately they will seize the opportunity. Then the wandering mind will come. So you must fill in all the gaps in your noting, so that your noting is continuous, one after another, without any break. So that means effort to be more mindful, to be continuously mindful. Okay? Then the wandering mind will slowly, gradually becomes weaker and weaker. Then it will not disturb you so much. This question, Bhante, you mentioned 3 phases of walking. First 20 minutes, right step, left step. Second phase, second phase 20 minutes, lifting pace, placing, third phase, and so on. Okay. Third phase doing what? Third phase lifting, pushing, dropping. Okay. Okay. So what is the purpose? It keeps saying stopping, stopping, standing, standing, walking, walking. If one walks, one is walking. Why keep repeating the same? Because your walking path is only about 20 steps. Eventually you have to stop. Huh? So you don't keep walking. You knock into the wall. Okay? So when you stop, you have to not stopping, stopping. So when you're standing there, you have to not standing, standing, and so on. Next question. Bhante, how do we know emotion, feeling that arise during walking meditation? Note it as it is, but without the self. Okay? So emotion like anger arise, not anger, anger, anger. Okay? Anger is just anger. Who is it that is angry? Nobody. Anger is just anger. Right? So note it like this. That's why the Buddha keeps saying, discern as it really is. Okay? So it's a state of anger arise, anger, anger, anger. You start to think, I am so angry, then the I is there. I'm angry at this person, stupid. So then the anger becomes stronger. You feed it, so it becomes stronger. Okay? So you just see it as it is. Anger is just anger. Then it will disappear. Put all your effort into the noting of the anger. Okay? Don't half note anger, the other half still want to be angry. So you continue to feed the anger, and then it will not stop. Okay? So put all the effort into the noting of the emotion that arise. Okay? So you do this, it will disappear. Feeling also. Feeling is just feeling. So nobody is feeling. Pain is just pain. Nobody is in pain. So if you're not like this, feeling as it is, feeling is just feeling. Okay, then the mind becomes detached from it. So put all the effort into the noting. So, and then it will disappear after a while. Okay. This applies not just in the walking meditation, it applies also in your sitting, in your daily activities also. Okay, so next question. Bhante, why only observing wind element? When placing, there's hardness, softness, coldness, heat on the ground. Do you want to give attention? Yes. So as we mentioned in the first, was it the first question just now? So primarily it's the walking process. But when the sole of the foot comes into contact with the ground, also you feel the touch sensation. So there's all these other sensations, like you mentioned, the hardness, the softness, the coldness, and so on. Okay, so all this also can be noted. Okay, but what I'm saying is that walking meditation is primarily the walking process. Okay. So how to observe the water element during walking meditation? And the one observe the blood flow towards the foot from the thigh and circulate upwards. Can you even feel that? So even you can feel actually it's just some like vibration. So that is more of the wind element. Okay. So actually water element is more the element of cohesiveness. Okay. So often you can feel as you are noting, and this on your mind has to be very clear. Because water element is a subtle materiality, sukkuma rupa. So you observe, the mind is very clear as you are noting all these different elements, then you may notice that there's something that they are bind together, they are held together. So when you feel that force of holding together, that is the water element. Okay? So and also fluidity. So sometimes you can feel flowing movement. Okay, so flowing sensation. So you just note it as it is. Okay? Yeah, but one thing that I must emphasize again, which I often emphasize. So in the Dhamma talk, I will tell you wind element, fire element, this element, that element. When you are actually practicing, don't identify. Okay, don't analyze. Okay, if you do that, you start thinking. Just put your mind on the object, whatever object you are noting. Let your mind be completely open to the experience of the object. Then whatever sensation you feel, just observe it as it is. Don't start thinking, oh, this one of element, this one wind element, this one that. No, not like this. Just feel it as it is. You don't have time to think actually when you are noting. Okay, so especially for those yogis who are already experienced, you know what we mean. So when your mind really sink into the flow of the Vipassana noting, when the samadhi is there. So we are noting continuously, moment after moment after moment, one object after another. So you find one moment of noting, the object is very fast. Okay, so you note it and then it disappears. Then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. There's no time to think. Okay, no time to analyze. All you have time to do is simply to observe it right there and then. That's all. To feel it clearly. And then it's gone. And then you have to move on to the next, and then the next, and then the next. So don't start analyzing, thinking, what is this, what is that. Okay? That's not your job. Your job is simply to observe, to discern clearly. Every single time you note. This next question. Bhante, when doing walking meditation, the mind is fully focused on lifting, pushing, and dropping. How do we contemplate on thoughts and feelings and any other dhammas that arise? There's no space to note other things when all we do is just minding the lifting, pushing, and dropping. You're not paying attention during the Dhamma talk. Luckily, you meet me, not Sayadaw Pandita. Otherwise, he'll give you a piece of his mind. Yeah, I mentioned just now. So if there's other objects, it says here what thoughts and feelings. So thought you must not thinking. So not disappear, then you return to the walking process. Okay, so you must put all your effort into noting so that it stops immediately. Okay? And then you can immediately return to the walking process, noting the walking process. If it doesn't stop, then you have to stop walking and then note until it disappears. Okay? And if it doesn't disappear still, then you have to gently detach your attention and firmly direct it back to the walking process. Okay. Feelings also the same. Okay, so if by feeling you mean sensation in the body. So if it is a very mild sensation, you ignore. Okay, continue to observe the walking process. Okay? But if the sensation is very prominent, it pulls your attention, it distracts your attention, then you stop, and then you note the sensation, not until it disappears. Okay? Bhante, what should I do when I experience my mind was controlling my body to move forward continuously without able to control the movement myself? I can't catch up with the speed after a while. Yes. So that is the intention, the mind moving the body. So just simply be aware of it, note it. Okay. So as the body move forward, and then you also note the movement. And so you note carefully, then you can see the cause and effect. The mind wanting to move, and then the body move together with it. So there's an intention, and then there's a movement. Okay, the moment there's intention, then there's the movement. You cannot control. So you just let it happen. Okay, and you observe carefully. Okay, so I can't catch up with the speed. So if you can't catch up, don't label. Just keep noting without labeling. That means just keep observing carefully as the whole process unfolds. Okay, because labeling tends to slow you down. Okay, because it's a slow process. Noting is faster. Noting you can catch up with the unfolding of the object. Ante, I do not understand why you need to keep repeating thinking. If one thinks, one is thinking, just once you do. Why have to? So if for you, if you're not thinking, once it disappears, then good. Then you don't have to repeat. Okay. If it continues, then you have to not thinking. So depending on whether the thinking goes on or not. If it continues, and you continue not thinking. So sometimes you don't even have to label it. Sometimes the mind moves, immediately you notice it, and then it disappears already. So the noting is very immediate. When you notice it, it already disappears. You don't even have time to label it. It already disappears. Then you don't even have to say thinking. But you see it clearly. It appears and then it disappears. All right, that's all the question we have today. And it's extremely late already. So we stop here today. All right. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Buddham Pujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Dhammam Pujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Sangham Pujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Mata Pitunam Pujemi. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Acariyanam Pujemi. Adha imaya Patipadaya Jaramranamha Primochisami. Idame punyam asavakhaya vaham hodu. Idame punyam Nibbanasa Pacayo Hodu. Idame silam Magaphala Nyanasa Pachayo Hotu Imam no Punya Bhagam Sabbasatanam Dema Imam no Punya Bhagam Sabbasatanam Dema Imam no Punya Bhagam Sabbasatanam Dema Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. So may all of you be well, happy and peaceful always. May all of you be healthy, be safe, be strong. May your practice of the Dhamma be smooth, be free from trouble, be free from obstacle. And may you be able to experience the unconditioned peace of Nibbana through your practice of the Dhamma.